Well, today I'm taking you to a couple of little places close to home. Good afternoon and welcome to another Old Ruins Travels. It's a rather dreich day today, but nothing will stop this old guy. Find me in a little village on the shore of the Forth. The village is called Limekilns, but I can hear you say, but where are the kilns? Well, not here, but let's go and find them. Limekilns lies on the shore of the Forth, around 13 miles north of Edinburgh. Limekilns dates back to the 14th century when it was a fishing village. The name comes from its 18th century limestone industry. It has a large natural harbour, which is sheltered by the rocky ridge known as the Ghaut. This provides docking facilities to small to medium transport and cargo ships. There was a trade between here and ports on the Baltic Sea in France until the 17th century. At least in the lay of the wall it's a bit sheltered. The importance of limestone became really clear, being used both for fertiliser and for the manufacture of mortar. It wasn't until the 1750s that the lime industry moved slightly along the coast to Charlestown. The oldest building in the village dates back to 1362 and is known as the King's Cellar. We're visiting the neighbouring village of Charlestown. Or more to the point, salt pans. Even in the rain, I do love a little harbour. Finally found the Limekilns. But not in Limekilns, in Charlestown. The Limekilns were developed in the 18th century by Charles, 5th Earl of Elgin, who we'll hear about later on. Let's see if we can see anything inside. The Limekilns were developed between 1777 and 1779. They were the largest group of lime kilns in Scotland, numbering 14 in total. Hard to believe what an absolute hive of industry that was here. Heat, noise, sweat, blood. Work was continuous at the lime kilns until relatively recently, finally finishing in 1956. Massive size. You don't get an idea on camera, but standing here it's huge. If I'm going down on the old railway line, I really need to make sure I've got better footwear on. Well, the weather's calmed down a little bit, so I've decided I'm going to attempt to go down the muddy path to the old railway. First sign, buffer stops in the middle of the undergrowth. And yes, there's still rails there. Initially carrying coal down to the harbour, Charles, the 5th Earl, built a wooden wagonway from 1772. It wasn't converted to standard gauge until October 1849, but then quickly followed by steam operation from 1852. Now there's a house I wouldn't mind living in. The line from Charlestown Railway Station joined the main line at Elbow End Junction on the Dunfermline to Ala route via Couris. In 1915, during the First War, a spur line was put in to service the newly built Royal Naval Armaments Depot at Crombie. The last train to run on the line was in 1993. I don't know if you can see that on the sleepers. Costain. So that's where the line took you into the naval depot. That's literally the end of the line for me. Armed police and dog patrol. Yeah, let's not go in there. A lot of shale exposed here. I've been here before and I found quite a lot of fossils. Charlestown's a pretty little village. It'd be prettier in the sunshine. In 1756, Charlestown was established by Charles. Yes, that one. Another distinctive feature of Charlestown is the early planned village, established again by Charles Bruce, the 5th Earl, in 1758. It is, however, quite an unusual plan, as the street patterns were reputedly laid out in the letters C and E for Charles Elgin. It was started off as a harbour town, for the shipment of coal mined on Lord Elgin's Fife estates, and also for the production of lime. It's nice to see they're trying to keep the industrial past alive. It's hard to believe it's, what was it, the 18th century it all started. The harbour's outer basin was built around 1840. There was also shipbuilding carried out in the 19th century, as well as ship breaking. In fact, some of the German imperial fleet were brought here from Scapa Flow. Well, thank you again for joining me in the old roads travel. A little bit of local history. Hope you found it interesting. So remember to subscribe, like the video, and I'll see you next week.